you say a osono maame ene ne mma de a ruling bi aba e Supreme Court. Now, ruling no eba ye no you say obone tofa a Chief Justice Tokonu one judge for enaya omu nyina nsia waka ho no ka ho nson emu enum se omu de omu gidi pa se Alban Bagbin our Speaker of Parliament no na montuo anase juma odino Parliament no sebio oka se MPs beye miensa ana enan omu de party dimu eba Parliament ende omu se omu pese party na de omu bae no omu jai party no ho no mako conteste independent no kire se omankasa seat no omoja no ho no and the Supreme Court Madam Tokonu any judge for a 9 kan ho omoye one judge for omoye a 9 kan ho okan ho omoye num no omo de omo say chief Speaker of Parliament no ade na oye no Ghana de mbra ebo ye ho ban no we ndi mbra so unconstitutional. Judge for mienu a na omoka judge for no nyina man be nson no 2 of the 7 judges no Judge Tanko ene Justice Johnson Lovelace Johnson judge for mienu bi mo amoso dabi ade a Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin ye no kwan so edi mrem in fact mra kire se pepe kwan so eno ye inti 7 judges omotena ase no emu enum a Chief Justice kan ho no omo se omo de Alban Bagbin ye oka se MPs na omo de party dimba Parliament and de omo se omo contest independent no sa judge fo num no omo se Alban Bagbin ka se sa MPs no omo seat no omo jato ho no 5 judges a Chief Justice kan ho no omo se enimrem ena mienu a omo ka enson no se da bi ewo mrem de Alban Bagbin ye no ewo mrem inte no kre ne kwan so. Now say unya abutre na wo hwe asem a ebesi ni nyina asem ni nyina no say NPP for akọ Supreme Court say emra bia Alban Bagbin gina so eka say so obi ba Parliament na or the party bi din eba Parliament na party ni din ti na ote Parliament na sani pane na adwene say okọ asa akọpre seat asa tena Parliament na sa party na otene franka so Parliament no oja sa party no wo ho a che say sa party no sebi o seat no oja no ho no ade a na Alban Bagbin embra ogina so no che say woja o seat no wo ho na okọpre seat ankrankra na independent a sa seat na de wo baaye no sa seat no technically obi ante so. Now from the ruling of the Supreme Court no obebusa say sa article na Alban Bagbin gina so eka say sa de na MPs ni ye no enye into omo forfeit omo seat no under which circumstance ena sa sa article no under which circumstance na sa article no apply because I must say sa de na nkofo ni ye no Alban Bagbin eni hu kwan so beka say and they say omo free omo party mu eko independent omo nje omo seat nto enye mbremu a what time circumstance ben and there was a sa sa embra no ye gina so ka se obi ato embra e Parliament because says ye wa mra o hosa na se Alban Bagbin use mra no na se NPP for Supreme Court na Supreme Court se sambra na e was se e kire se obi forfeit the seat and a seat ni nya ne dia biom no Supreme Court say omunji ntum say Alban Bagbin use sambra na question number 7 busa Supreme Court say when and what circumstances and a sambra no apply time bang inti e kire obi akuobi ansa na yakase wa 15 seat and I said so at this point no ye wa mbrafo fro bi wo ha Alban Bagbin betume use say so obi ba Parliament na say ofri ne party mu na say okase on ne party nantibiom na ojani seat to so okopre independent a mbra ben biem na ende yengina so enkase sa nipa ne seat no on tisu biem. Is there another article? And that is the basic question Ghana ni bi onim nyanse be busa Supreme Court because Say emra ewawa Alban Bagbin ejina so editu sa na mo no mo say emra sebio Ghana constitution itia dia e dia emra na say Alban Bagbin ende oka say opeso jina so etake sa decision na onjina so what when what exact what at which under which circumstance can that decision be taken, or that the article can be applied? Under which circumstance can that article be applied? Because the article Abambag Binjina Sono, our parliament standing orders, parliament constitution, is the Supreme Court going to give Alban Bagbin another article for him to use in case a some way ever told him? Because it is still a pending issue before him. And as a Speaker of Parliament, he needs to take a decision. Now, if the Supreme Court is saying, that article, no, so take a decision, no, it is not constitutional. So which article? Because the Constitution has stated it clearly. So, Obiura Parliament, no, Otusa na mona, or send the Panijali city so. Into what article should we today, if Speaker of Parliament sits down, which article, what article should he base his decision on? That is a tricky question, and that is a question I should say our Supreme Court is overstepping, and the judiciary is now basically working for the executive. Because you cannot tell me, say, we see public toilet, and a public toilet, no, I catch it say, a man kwana kosa public toilet and so. So ya bema na ura wa watumra. Mra ewo kuruma ye nyina yetin. Now, a few months ago, asimesi a ya friend amwako ekora ema toilet no so ene eche no. Ye de be gina wo ohini nanim no, o se we bu mra so. If you say ye wo mra eda ho a ekire se. Se ura ema toilet a yanka se ura ho Monday ana Tuesday. Yankasa ura ho January ana February, yankasa ura ho December ana said in January. Yes, it's a ura emma toilet ne so a wabumra. Into a few months ago, Kwame Amwako ewura mra no toilet ene ye chi ne begina wo ohini nanim. And I'll catch there Sani Pan say we ura ma toilet. You did not care the day, the time, the year, but as far as we ura emba toilet no, emra na ebokro no ho ban say I will see a twa wesu. Emma wugina so as ohini no etwa Kwame Amwako esu. Now, yetete ha na eyedian nipa foforo ekowura emba toilet so. Nipa foforo ekowura emba toilet so. Yekoyi nipa ne ba ye na eye wode hye ba ko a obetumi abedi akonwa. Now, ekromofo ede nipa ne ba ye na omka kire wo se nana nipa waka se ma wode emra to wose ma obi enwura emba toilet so no ende kojo poku ewura ma toilet no so efri nanana no a kojo poku de oyede hye kojo poku de oyananta eti kojo poku ye de hye de ye ntumi ntwa ne su na kojo poku no ye ma ne warning. This is what we are seeing at the Supreme Court today. Mike Okwe edit the same article and the catch the Ghana for say a year for me na MP no on cross the carpet na on NPP in business. NPP for did not see anything wrong with it. The same parliament, BBS society, the same standing order, the same article. And the NPP for the Supreme Court, Emma Supreme Court catch there say the rules are the same, the character has changed. Nipa na commit crime no omo and commit crime na ye kan ho asem no omo different from the commit first crime no adentra they are affiliated to the NPP, and that is what the Supreme Court wants us to believe today. And until Mibusa say at what circumstance and at which circumstance and that article can be applied, when can it be applied? Because when you read the document, so we read the article 17, we read the new standing orders are. Already 18 now. Vacancy other than resignation. Uko article 97(1) B to E, G and H of the Constitution. It says this. That is the standing orders, new standing orders of Parliament. Or say the Speaker shall inform the House of the occurrence of a vacancy of the seat of a member under clause 1B to E, G, and B and H of Article 97 of the Constitution, the Speaker of Parliament came to Parliament and announced to Parliament that these people have vacated their seats. So why are we today in Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to tell us Ghanaians to say that same article that the standing orders recognize, the Supreme Court does not recognize Parliament standing orders? That is where we are getting to. And it's a simple question, say. So the article, the Supreme Court for Ginaso, Eka say, in fact, I was say the Alban Bagbeye the question is, at what time, what circumstance, and Article 97, and then what time does it apply? When can we use it? When is the best time to use that article? So we Speaker of Parliament in that. Also Supreme Court catch the Alban Bagbin. Say this is a time also uses our article way, because they did not give specification when the article can be used. Because in the standing orders, it is clear that this is the right time the article can be used. And in the standing orders, it does not state to say it can be used 2 months to elections, or 3 months to elections, or 2 years to elections, or the first day a government takes over. The article, the standing orders, it applies any day when that happens. So Speaker of Parliament, whether it is a week to elections, a month to elections, a year to elections, the article and the standing orders tells him this is what you need to do. And Speaker Alban Bagbin followed through and announced to Parliament that your colleagues have forfeited their seats and going independent. So this article applies. Their seat is vacant. So I want to ask the Supreme Court, at what time does this article apply? And you see the funny thing, because they wanted to put out this ruling to make sure, say, the NPP gets their way, the day before the ruling came out, the Attorney General came to tell Ghanaians to say, Mike Okwe's ruling then, which favored the NPP. I'm talking about the former MP, the Attorney General quickly came out to say it was unconstitutional. It means they knew that if they don't say that the first ruling by Mike Okwe is unconstitutional, whatever the Supreme Court will do today, it will be against the first ruling. So what they had to do quickly was that the Attorney General will come and tell us, Attorney General say that first ruling by Mike Okwe is unconstitutional, so that it creates a window for the Supreme Court to make this judgment. So because the Supreme Court, basis they cannot rule on this matter until somebody tells us to say the first ruling is unconstitutional. They will use the precedent to say that this one too is unconstitutional. And Nuntina, they waited and for the Attorney General to first come out to say Michael Kwes's ruling was unconstitutional, and they will base on that to say that then this is also unconstitutional. That is why I'm asking the Supreme Court to say, so at what point, at what time, at which circumstance, and you bet to me, Aka said that this article 97 can be applied when time being. Why are you making a mockery out of yourselves at the Supreme Court? Because we are still expecting the Supreme Court to tell us, because now that they have all the powers to enter Parliament and interpret parliamentary laws to us, they should tell us when that article can be applied. When? Is it when a parliamentarian dies, or somebody shoots somebody in Parliament, or somebody goes naked in Parliament, or somebody brings all the flags from their constituency to come and fill a seat they sit on in Parliament? When does that article apply? Because now we have been made to believe that the Supreme Court is the creme de la creme, law. They have been able to even infiltrate Parliament, enter Parliament to take over parliamentary proceedings. Now they are saying in Parliament. That is why I'm sending this message to the Supreme Court. When does that article apply? When does it apply? You see, there's something this NPP they are doing, and they think Jimmy. You have in your market one steady home. You may be at the better bonnet. Some judges be nume drew or them mumu. Some people, if you don't slow down, after your market no salmon quasi for no. Sabobo careless home. And yan nipe bi sometimes you need to minima. No me be go abontene no. Be no me duru wu them. This clearly is embarrassing. This ruling from the Supreme Court, it is totally embarrassing. And you know what hurts here? The Supreme Court is basically telling us, say, Parliament, Jimmy, their own standing orders, to me, you see. Into Ochina, you know another Speaker of Parliament. For a article being and then cancer Parliament says somebody has forfeited their seat. Their article no so because you are telling us that the standing orders are unconstitutional. Article being. You see, sometimes when you are Supreme Court or when you Asemna told judges in 1982, I'm telling you, what happened to the judges who were shot and burnt alive? It can happen to any of you guys. You people should not see yourself say you are above the law. You see, human anger, when you push it to its limit, it can do things that at the end of the day, we are not regret it. Let not your actions push human to that level. I am running at the church in Ghana. So we all need to adhere and make sure Sambrano are protecting Obia. You cannot be selective with the law. It is bad. But see, 1982 judges now you kuomono. It is because of actions to be take here and a man show a charge. And let me tell you, the same human beings who left in 1982 are the same people who live here now, today. They have not gone anywhere. They are still living with us. So they have not changed. Those people we see said they were Christians in 1982. No, they are the same Christians we are living with. Those we saw said they are Muslims in 1982. No, they are the same Muslims we are living with today. So nothing has changed. It is your actions. It will bring the monster out of them again. And history always repeats itself when some people think they can suppress it. And that is what we are seeing in our judges, in our courts. We are not supposed to see the court being extraordinarily biased like this. This is wrong. It is not good. I am a Ghanaian. I should respect the Supreme Court, and I respect the Supreme Court. But people cannot turn the law upside down and use the law against the people. How can the Supreme Court go to Parliament and say that their own standing orders is unconstitutional? The question here is, so that article, when can it be applied? When? What time? And during what situation? Because there needs to be a situation for that to be applied. Into Ochina, when the speaker announces to Parliament, they say MPCB through the articles, they have forfeited their seat now. Unusual article being in Parliament to tell parliamentarians in Parliament. So are you trying to tell us that the Supreme Court today, they have taken out a constitutional article, binding a protected Parliament away? No, you can't do that from the Supreme Court. Because when you do this, it means you are taking away the High Court powers. Now, is anybody going to go to High Court again? No. Why should anybody go to the High Court if there is an issue like this in Parliament? Have we forgotten? The Supreme Court, have you forgotten there's a High Court there? And that your ruling can affect the High Court? Right now, why should anybody having an issue at the Parliament of Ghana go to the High Court for interpretation? Because you have actually said that the Constitution, the standing orders in Parliament are not constitutional. So why should anybody go to High Court to seek interpretation of standing orders in Parliament? What is the Supreme Court doing? You are overreaching from day one. Afenyomakin, like Chachuchi Kata said, came for an interpretation of 97G. That's it. You interpret that and you tell them to go back to Parliament. Let them go and fix their own problems. You don't overreach. You don't try and let Parliament feel like they are stupid. No. And this ruling is clearly what you, the Supreme Court, you are trying to do. You are trying to tell Parliament they don't have even the intelligence to understand their own standing orders. That's why I'm asking Madam Tokonu and the Supreme Court, at what circumstance, when can that article be applied? When? What should happen for that article to be applied in Parliament? That is a question that we all need to answer. You see, You see, time assembly ending or court ended. The Chief Justice and the 4 judges we can hear 5 can say I 5 against 2 no. The NPP went out there and they started insulting Alban Bagbin. Suddenly, they started putting flyers out. Alban Bagbin or a Kronfo or Yewi, and it came from the Bawumia campaign. Oh, Alban Bagbin by a speaker, we did $1.4 million. While Jessica Kosha, they try to denigrate the man. This is the NPP. Omu pay free quarter and start releasing those flyers in the system. And I know Alban Bagbin has seen all of them. I can tell Alban Bagbin who was behind those flyers. Who actually gave the green light when it should be released. It came from the Bawumia campaign. That they should go out there and destroy the man's image. Adia onimno. Yemfan shano. So I call you 1.4 million. Alban, for 8 years, ye won't Alban Bagbin a year after end ruling in the who say NPP for Alban Bagbin a year. This is the NPP. And this is what they do. So, after the insult, after denigration, no, after telling the whole world to say, after your marking, say, Speaker of Parliament thinks he's a madman. He's madder than him. He thinks he's an emperor. He is a stupid man. He should come to Parliament, you know. I reaffirm my utmost respect for your office and service to our nation. He is now saying to Ghana, say, honor the or respect Alban Bagbin pa. Na emomuno Alban Bagbin be Parliament na enye djuma o ma oya boa. Ebia Alban Bagbin ebeye. Ebia Alban Bagbin be sa court no obebie sa Parliament na ma afenyo makin. Kwasia we nsema okafa Alban Bagbin hu okrum ha. The insult afenyo makin ne papa on to infan to Alban Bagbin 1 minute. Afenyo makin. Kwasia way because of politics. This filthy, dirty guy because of politics. He stood on national television telling Alban Bagbin say he thinks he's an emperor. He's a foolish man. He thinks he has too much power. He's corrupt. This foolish fool. Orie na osono maame. A man the open or say, Alban Bagbin, I respect you. Into Alban Bagbin should get up in the morning and say, thank God. After your market respect me. NPP for the falsehood they've spread about me, you know, I don't care. Let us, oh no, it does not work like that. After and the NPP pigs. After and the NPP pigs. It does not work like that. That is not how the world works. It is suddenly all the things you said about the man, the insult, it should go away. It should disappear. So you are extending a hand to the NDC. They should come. You are telling Ghanaians that you are a leader. You want Parliament to be open. Now Parliament papadia. Kwasia biba Parliament papadia. I don't know Supreme Court on maybe a Parliament now. Kwasia ba. I don't know unfair or sonoma. I say ombra no for kissing baby. No on chair Parliament now. This is the foolishness. Mama me pele. After your marking, me pele. Mama me pele, and I'm about TV so can kwasiasem. Adaya Alban Bagbin there, onyo bianca bi mano. You denigrate an honorable man in the whole NPP. You cannot get a credible man in the NPP or the Alpha. Alban Bagbin kwa. No NPP person can meet his credibility. Nobody in the NPP. Why? The success he has chalked in his political career, there's nobody in the NPP who can compare himself to Afinyo. Compare himself to Alban Bagbin. Kofuor. He comes close. He does not come close to Alban Bagbin's credibility in politics. Kofuor. Me see, mo papa Kofuor. About credibility and the experience and the success a person has chalked in our politics. He does not come close to Alban Bagbin. But Nkwasia 47 to me did not tell me because or teni because my dream no or your NDC ni in mo pele. Me say mo hwe MPP ni mu nyina from Atakura Kwasi Ampe ni be see the last messenger. Why na what MPP mu a obetuni no atoto Alban Bagbin when it comes to the success credibility in politics e wo mu nya nipa baako. Wana hakman ewusu agiman. Michael Kwe. Wanya mo papa Kofuor ankasa ohun Alban Bagbin obu ni mu ase. Why are you people like that? Adena mo Jimmy sa. Adena mo tigana mo jinso bia ye Jimmy. Mo jinso bia Jimmy. Everything should come your way. It today you know say you have respect for the man. Kwasi Akorah to say what credibility. You have in your market, you are not even supposed to be a lawyer in Ghana. You're Jimmy Ntra. The General Legal Council is full of party fanatics and party butt lickers. And Kawa in your market, you are not supposed to be a lawyer in Ghana. You are in your market, you are a rapist defender. Kwasi Akorah to say you, how did you even get here? But you're Jimmy Ghana. Jimmy we nam na opo o Jimmy na Katie Amon Kwasi anu sidi nechi. That is why we are here today. Katie Amon na Kwasi. Shani Jimmy Katie Amon oni certificate in post or the lawyer wo Ghana. Nipa fin we mu nam Ghana. Ena omodi bibia to ye trim so mu ni nyansa. Nyansa ben pa na Katie Amon oni mu asase we so. Okasa se ponko. Yeah pa Kwasi we akoton ship. Katie Amon, Japan and your body trim too. Kwasi we akoton Ghana ship di. As I'm Ghana, a post upon. Then we entertain such political insects, filthy, stinking things. Then yet Ghana say Ghana. I mean, been jail. There are people we respect. And there are people we really respect. As much as the Muhuno TV Suninano, there are people we respect. Let's wait for what Alban Bagbin will do. So Banyansafo they make an I say there are people we respect. And there are people we really respect. Let us wait and see what Alban Bagbin will do. It will determine the end. I don't know much. But the things I know, so we man count to me na e Ghana. I don't know much. But the things kakrana minimuno, so we ma o sora no pa and come power ID home no to abeti NPP. You have no idea. But there are some people we respect, and there are some people we really respect. Let us see the reaction from Alban Bagbin. And Alban Bagbin's reaction will decide what will come next.
What up, my people? I go by the name T-Rhyme, aka the stylish rapper, aka Conscious, aka Fire, aka what I say, BBB. You're watching Davcadotv. Keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. Alright.